Welcome to Brain Vision.
In general, we have a car that is going up a hill with an inclination given by theta. So, what is the relation between the normal force and the weight force? Well, we have to decompose the weight force to answer that question. One component of the weight force is pointing in this direction, and the other component is pointing in that direction. So there are two components. Let me call this Wy and this Wx. Note that this is a rectangle triangle because this is a right angle. So we can work with that rectangle triangle as we are used to. Let me do a bigger drawing of this rectangle triangle right here. Nice. Now note that the normal force is countering the y component of the weight force. So the normal force is equals to the y component of that weight force. Now, how can we relate the y component of the weight force with the weight force itself? So it takes a little bit of geometry. So take a look. We can extend this down here and note the following. This is a rectangle triangle because this is a right angle. And this angle, let me call it alpha, is such that alpha plus theta is equals to 90 degrees. Now, note something. When we sum this angle alpha with this angle here, we must get a right angle because this is a right angle. So alpha plus this angle is equals to 90. So this angle must be equals to theta. Therefore, this angle right here is also theta. Then we have some information about our triangle. This angle is theta, and as a consequence, this other angle is alpha. So how can we relate Wy with W? So we can use the cosine to do that. Why can we use the cosine? Because the cosine is equals to the adjacent side of the triangle Wy divided by the hypotenuse, which is equals to W. Then Wy is equals to W times the cosine of theta. Therefore, the normal force is equals to the weight force times the cosine of theta. And finally, the ratio between the magnitude of the normal force and the magnitude of the weight force is equals to the cosine of theta. Then, on the first item, the ratio between the normal force and the weight force is equals to the cosine of 15 degrees, which is approximately 0.97. And on the second item, we have that theta is equals to 35 degrees. Therefore, the ratio is equals to the cosine of 35 degrees, which is approximately 0.82.